So anyone is still having any doubts with respect to basic gates or the logic gates, whatever we have? I guess these topics were covered in your first year syllabus also, basic electrical or basic electronics and all. Anyone still has any doubts on those topics? So whatever topics we covered in the last two classes. So you guys are having idea about this number system conversion? You had those topics? Converting a decimal number to binary, binary to hexa, hex, or between those hexadecimal, all those values. Converting one number from one number system to other number system. So those topics were not there before. Whether the number system consists of about some conversions. So topics were there, the syllabus was there. So you studied in PU. Yeah. Okay, then let's revise those now. Okay, I want your answers for all these questions, whatever we are discussing now, because otherwise I don't know whether how much knowledge you have on those topics and all. Okay, first we'll go for binary system. Okay, so in binary number system, as the name says, what are the numbers or the values we have? binary means 2. So in this number system, we are having only two numbers. One is 0, the other one is 1. So there are only two numbers here. So whatever you want to represent in binary number system, you can use only these two numbers or these two values. Fine. So if it is a 1 bit, so I am writing 1. Then it is 1 in decimal. If I am writing 0, then it is 0 in decimal. This is binary. I am writing this side. I am writing binary. Just a second. So decimal value means whatever values you are using now. So 0 to 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, all these things. These are the decimal values. Okay. So binary, if I am writing single 1 digit value, if it is 0 means in decimal it will be 0. If I am writing 1 means it is 1 in the decimal. If I am writing 1, 0, now 2 bit I am going. What is the value in decimal for this? If I am writing 1, 0, 2 bit value I am writing. Yeah, this will be 2. Then if I am writing 1 and 1, because these are things I need for the lab, so I am doing. If I am writing 1 and 1, what is the value in decimal? 3. Yeah, because this is place of 1. This is how you write. It is 2 to the power 0. It is 2 to the power 1. Something like this. Okay. If I am writing 1, 0, 0, I am going for 3 bit. What is the value? So it is 4. So it is like, the number system now. So it is like whenever you are writing, first one is 0 or 1. Then you have 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, 32, then 64, so 128, something like this, the positions. Fine. If you are writing 0 means everything is 0, that's it. Value is 0. If you are writing 1 and 1, that means 2 plus 1, it is 3. If you are writing 1, 0, 1, 0, you can see in this place 16, the value is 16. Here it is, value is 4. Sorry. I missed the position places. Okay, if I write 1, 0, 1, 0, 4-bit number, what you call it as nibble, 4-bit number it is. The word comes later. It is called as so here the value is, take the position value. This is 8 and this one is 2. 8 plus 2, 10. Fine. So whenever you are having a 4-bit value, it is called as nibble. Whenever you are having a 8-bit value, it is called as a byte. Right? So now tell me the value here. What is the decimal value for this? So you are adding 64 plus 16 plus 2. Fine. So wherever you are having, in which places you are having 1, for those, what is the decimal value? 64 here. Here it is 16, here 2. So you are writing 2. Fine. So this is about your binary values. Fine. So there is one more related, in lab it comes, we call it as BCD, that is binary coded decimal, which is similar but little confusing for you guys if you are considering the binary code. What is the BCD, binary coded decimal? Anyone is having any idea? So imagine this size. Imagine I'm having this very small. I'm having decimal value 20. So how you will write this value 20 in binary? Tell me the binary representation of 20. 8-bit representation. I want 8-bit representation for this 20. In binary, you tell me. How to write 20 in binary in 8 bits? So 20 is 16 plus 4. So where you have the 4? Here. Where you have 16? At this place. So I am talking about binary now, Purnachandra. So remaining, I'll put zeros. Heading is BCD, but I am talking about binary now. In the binary system, what we do is, the value is given, the entire value, whatever I am having, 2 and 0, 20, I am taking together, value is, total value is 20, I am writing like this 8-bit value, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. 4-bit, 4-bit. Top 4, bottom. But I am considering all together, I am not subdividing it. Fine? This is the binary. So this is the binary value. What about BCD now? So I want to show that the difference. So whenever you are having BCD, the 20 whatever you have will subdivide that as 2 and 0. Fine. So for 2, like this. So for any decimal number you have from 0 to 9, for any decimal value to represent in binary, maximum 4 bits are enough for me. Fine. Till 9 it comes. 9 means 1, 0, 0, 1. So to write 9, 4 bits are enough. Number starts from 0 till 9. So only 4 bits you are using in BCD for every decimal number. Fine. I have a value 20 in binary. This is the representation 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. This is the binary. The entire value of that 20 number is taken. But in case of BCD, we are not taking the entire value. We are subdividing each digit we are taking. The first value is here you can see the 0. So 0 means all zeros, 0, 0, 0 and 0. And 2 means 0, 0, 1, 0. Fine. This is your BCD system. So don't get confused, because in the lab you have to use that BCD values comes binary coded decimal values. So don't get confused with respect to your binary and BCD. Fine. So any issues? No, right? Fine. So next, so decimal number system, anyways you know it. So for the next one, octal number system. So what is this octal number system? So octal means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So whatever numbers you are forming, you can choose only these numbers in that. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the total 8 digits are there. So using this, you are forming the number system now. Any number, if you want to represent any decimal number, then I want to write in octal, then I can use only these. Fine. So how to convert a decimal number to octal? So usually we won't use octal numbers, but sometimes I want to represent some numbers in octal number system. So how to do that? So imagine I have some number 25 in octal number, in decimal number system. So what is the value in octal? So 25 decimal, how to convert this to octal? Basic rule we had, no, in the PU channel we used to do. Now you have calculators directly you can do. Otherwise, how to do? So 25 value is there. Then divide it by 8. So do that and give me the octal value. The reminders you have to take. In your
31.
Yeah, you have to do this in your book. I want to see that. How much you got? So you are having 8 3 times 24, then one reminder. Then you can't subdivide that to 3. Then these you are considering 3 and 1. So this is your octal number. Next, go for the hexadecimal. So in hexadecimal, you have 0 to 9, that is 10 numbers. Then after that, which one comes? Hexadecimal. I want more than 10. I want 6 more. Correct. Then A till S. Fine. A means 10 in decimal, F means 15. So 0 to 15, totally 16 are there. So if I have 250 in decimal, what is the value in hexadecimal? I have a value 250 which is in decimal. I want to represent that in hexadecimal. The equivalent value I want to see in hexadecimal. Start dividing and consider the reminders. So don't convert it directly. Go on dividing and consider the reminders. So the hexadecimal value is FA. Everyone got the same thing? Yeah, the first reminder is 10. So you are writing it in hexadecimal, that is A. Second one is 15. I can't subdivide that. So it is F and A. 15 means F. Correct. So if I have a number in binary, so this is binary. What is the value in octal? So I have 0010, 1001. That is the binary value. What is the equivalent value for this in octal? I want to see how you converted in your book, because after this class I am creating one Google Classroom where you need to scan your book and you have to submit at the weekend. Whatever happened, whatever we discussed in the week, in that week, you have to scan your notes. You should write a USN and name on each page in the top or whatever sheets, and you have to scan the notes and you have to upload in that. So make sure that you're writing everything in your sheets or your notes. So make sure that whatever steps you are following, you are writing in that notes. So someone is posted the answer, means don't directly copy from that, means they have already converted. So if you are doing in your calculators, then you can't keep your calculator there. So you have to solve it. Only one student got the answer. What about the remaining? As a simple step we can do is directly we can understand. No, here this is how much? 32 decimal. This is 8 and last one is 1. Add all those, you will get the decimal value. Divide by 8, that's it. 32 plus 8, 40, 41 I got. In decimal it is. Now start dividing with the 8. So 5 times 40, then the remainder is 1. 5 is again not divisible by 8. The value is 5 and 1 in octal. easy one because we can directly identify the value from binary. So the decimal value we can directly note down from the direct binary values because we know the position values. We usually use binary and the decimal in most of the situations. So if they ask for the octal means, divide that with 60, sorry, ask the hexadecimal means, divide that decimal value 41 with the 16, all those things. We'll see the reverse. So if I have 57 in octal, what is the binary value for this? So I have 57 in octal number system. So you know, right, how we represent that? So if some value is there, some number system they are following means the number will be there, and after we will put that in brackets, and in small we will write in the base 8. That means it is octal number system. So I have 57 in octal. What is the binary value for this? So everyone must answer in the chart and all, because whatever you are giving as an answer in the chart will be noted. So it tells your activeness, whether you are giving the response or not. Because in the classroom you can speak here, if everyone will speak, then it will be like a lot of disturbance will be there. So whatever answers you are getting, you must post in that chat box, because we can record this session. That time whatever responses you are giving, that will be noted in the recording. We will get one text txt file, in that all the responses from which student, everything will be noted. So whenever we are giving the marks and all for the internals or whatever, whenever we need to assign the marks, continuous evaluation marks, I can't remember your faces or names. I'll go through the text file. Whoever is giving most of the responses and all, they'll get the marks, benefits. That's it. So now the octal value 57 is there. So everyone got the answer? Okay, fine. The value is, so here we are representing each value with 3 bit. Okay, so what is the first one and the second one? So you are having 7. 7 means in the octal system we can see 0 to 7 is there. To represent these values, maximum 3 bits are enough. 0 means 0, 0, 0. 7 means 1, 1, 1. So it is 4, this is 2, this is 1. 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 7 means 1, 1, 1, and 5 means 4 plus 1, that is 0, 1. Fine, the binary value will be 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. This is in the binary number system. So if you want to make it 8 bit, then you can add zeros here. Fine. Whenever you are converting that to hexadecimal, then 4 bit you are writing. If it is octal to binary, 3 bits. Hexadecimal to binary, 4 bits. So, anything else? Anything is left out? Or anything else you want to discuss with respect to the number system? The basic concepts. So anyhow, you have the now calculators are there, scientific calculators are there, directly you can convert it, no issues. But in case it is not allowed or it is, you want the method, then you have to work upon that. But it is not there in your syllabus and all, and just a practice, that's it. Because for every small thing you can't run for the calculators. So anything else you want to discuss? No? Okay, then let me create one classroom for you guys. For 18 CF 33 ADE. Section will have only one section. Subject it is ADE and ADE lab. Room 1. So I will share the classroom ID or the code. You can join that after the session. You note down, because if I type and all, there will be a problem again. It is created. So note down the ID. Small letter C, 5, small letter K, B, W, M, J. The link is also posted in the chat box. You can click, automatically will be added to the group. But don't do it now. Yeah, you can do it now also. It's okay. That time I'll get a count how many are active. Either join after, or you can click to that link. Later you can join also, otherwise click onto the link and directly you will be taken to the group. And people who are giving names and all, I can see here Chandu, Gowda and all, give little proper names for your Gmail accounts, okay? Sometimes it will be confusing for us. If two people are there with the same name and all, give proper names for your Google accounts. So whatever name you are giving for your Google accounts, same name will be appearing here. If you are using some special characters, all those things and all, it is difficult for us to identify you, because we need to identify your assignments, your homeworks, you have to give marks and all, to mark the attendance for that. So the name, if you have only the first name, then put the second name also, something like that, give proper names. So how your name is appearing in the marks card or in college, how it comes in your attendance book. So something like that only you have to keep, so that it is easy for us to identify you. That's it. Fine, 38 people join now. Okay, coming back to our sessions. Any doubts you're having? Anyone? Anything to discuss? So after the session, I'll create one assignment where you have to post your document about yesterday's homework. Immediately after this class, I'll check that. So by 1 o'clock, you have to post that. So whatever the homework was given yesterday, same thing, 2 questions, 2 answers. That's it. Scan and attach. Fine. Okay. So coming back to our syllabus. So actually, in your ADE theory, I have not discussed the syllabus now. I'll go back to that quickly. ADE theory syllabus. This is your syllabus for ADE theory subject code 18CS33, and you have 5 modules. First module is completely your electronics part, analog electronics. I guess you are aware of these things. I guess it is easy for me then. So photodiodes, light emitting LEDs, bipolar junction transistors and all, fixed bias, CE bias, voltage divider bias and all. These things were there before also, and people who studied electronics and all, it is easy for you guys. Amplifiers and all, and analog to digital, digital to analog conversions. So all these things are there. So this will look later. Otherwise, it's fine. Later we can start in the beginning also, but it is little time consuming and it takes more time to explain. So better to do in the class, because we need to see the circuits. We need to see where, from which voltage comes in which way, what are the loops, all these things. Your Kirchhoff's law and all, we have to apply voltage divider law, voltage law, current law, all those things are there. So we'll do that in the class. Same from this module 1 only, you are having 3 experiments in the lab. That's it. Which is very easy for you. If you do the lab, you will listen for the lab properly, means attentively, means easily you can pass in module 1. Same experiments which are there in the lab, if you study all 3, enough for module 1. Same thing will be asked in the exam also. So easily you can pass in the module 1. Hope you are having exams this time. So next one you are having is module 2. Before these logic gates, basic gates, or number conversion, all things were there in the module 2, but for your syllabus it is not there. So I am doing some basics now. So directly you have K-maps, Karnaugh maps, SOP, POS, sum of product of sum, all those things were there before. Now it is not there. So I'll cover that in the bridge course now, whatever I'm doing in this week. So later we will be taken directly to the K-map simplification and all. And QM method. There are only 2 questions. That's it in module 2. If you study these 2, done. You will pass in module 2. So one is your K-map and one more is your QM method, Quine-McCluskey method. 2 methods are there, 2 ways of solving your circuit diagrams, getting simplification of the equations and all, the circuit and all. So if you know these 2 methods, it is very easy methods. That's it. Then the module 3 has your little bit going further, latches, all those things. Latches will come later, I guess. Yeah, latches comes in module 4. In module 3, you are having your combinational circuits, multiplexers, decoders, PAL, PLA, programmable logic arrays, ROM, all those things comes in your module 3. The next level, using these basic gates, NAND gates, NOR gates and all, how you can combine and you can make a circuits. Fine, easy things, very easy. Programmable logic arrays, all those things are easy here, multiplexers and all. Then you have module 4. Here you are studying about Verilog codes and your VHDL codes and all. This is needed for your simulation. The first part of your module 4 is needed for the simulation, the software experiments which you are doing in the computers. For that purpose we need this VHDL, but in lab we have the option of doing in Verilog also. The Verilog codes are very easy. So most of the time we go for the Verilog codes. In theory, I will teach you how to write this VHDL codes and how to write the Verilog both. In that, we will opt for Verilog. If you want VHDL, you can do the VHDL also in the lab, no issues. But the programs are little lengthy, that's it, in VHDL. In Verilog, it is smaller, easier to write. Then you have latches of the flip-flops, SR or RS. Then you have D flip-flops, T toggle flip-flops, JK flip-flops, all this. This also comes in your lab. So every module is important here. You can't skip any modules. So everything is important here. Then you are going for the last module, module 5. Here you are having counters and registers. So these things comes here. How to work with the counters, automatically counts, the clock pulses, all those things. So your adders are there, we are using all those things, accumulators and all. And flip-flops actually we are using in counters and the registers. Registers means storing memory locations. So the memory, it holds the memory, it holds the values. So all these things we study in module 5. So everything is important. If you skip any of these modules, then later it will be difficult for you, because the next semester also there are some subjects which are related to this. Not the module 1, remaining module 2 onwards. Module 1, you already know that, we will do that. You know, you have studied electronics means, electrical means, we can easily we can study module 1. All these things, and your textbook is this one. So the soft copy is also available. I'll give the link, it is there then.
So I'll give one, wait a second, PD the previous modules. Yeah, I have the textbook, but which I don't know whether it is the new or the old. Principles and applications, 2019. I guess it is old textbook. Let me see the link I'll give in the previous next classes, or in the classroom I will give that link. Okay, fine. I will wind up the session for today. I guess it is enough for today's session. Anyone has any doubts, anything? No, right? Okay then. Thank you guys.